We follow Pope Francis's doctrine on Laudato Si and now Laudato Deum, which really accentuates the fact that mankind cannot survive on its own without all of the creatures around it. So here we are at Usml. We are a campus for theologians, both lay and those to be ordained. 1,100 acres, and we consider it a learning laboratory. So as students come in here from a theology standpoint to become priests of parishes at a later date, they come to find out really quickly what is possible. So we enjoy being part of the solution for what's around us. I can tell you about a few things that we've worked on. First, I couldn't do what we do without the great partners that we have. So let's start with our solar field. Our solar field provides just about 30% of the energy the campus uses. Now, how did we get to that point? A gentleman by the name of David, he is on our board, came to us and said, "Hey Jim, I'm thinking about this concept of a solar array. Where might we put it?" It took 2.5 years to get through the process of actually putting it in play. And then one day Dave says, "Jim, what do you think about a cross? You might be able to see it from 20,000 feet or even better, Google Earth, to proclaim our faith and support of the planet." So he ran the numbers, was easy enough to do. Great partners with all of the organized labor putting it together for us, and boom, there you have it. You can definitely see it from above. Go to Google Earth, you'll see that for us. That was rapidly followed by our bridge work. So we had a large bridge, 100 years old. It's called Bridge Number 1, the key entrance into campus. So that bridge had to be closed. So the old bridge came down, and no, we didn't dynamite it. It was actually knocked down into pieces. And keep in mind, as we're taking this down, a road had to be built across the stream, still allowing water to get through so that we weren't impeding any of the waterways with the Army Corps of Engineers. So as we got further into it, we started talking about the road and should we leave part of it, take part of it out? And then as we chatted a little bit more about this, we came to the realization that, hey, we could do something where we'd create a silt pond on the stream side coming down, use the road to actually filter out all the stuff, and the lake would be all to the better. We knew we could never do it at any other time to be as economically viable as it was while the construction was here and we had all the heavy equipment. So we did just that. We worked with engineering firms to make sure it was designed, worked with the Army Corps, worked with the village, and everybody was glad to see it happen. Their big trigger was, we hope that you can keep the silt pond going in the years to come, because there's a lot of folks that want to do the right thing but don't understand how hard it is to maintain it long term. Well, again, we've got this gorgeous campus that you can see around me here, and we have the skilled groundsmen that make all this possible, and again, the partners that work with us. Mary, you may have seen as you drove in today these little robotic lawnmower cutters that are out there. Again, with Laudato Si and now Laudato Deum, this whole concept of less outputs to the vehicle. So Mariani, another great partner, we come to the table and said, these are our concerns. We want to get out of some of the emissions that are coming out of this. And I asked about the program, and they looked around. It took about a year and a half to get it situated, and boom, there we are. So the grass is being cut all the time. There's no issues with it at all, other than the occasional gets stuck in one of the tree circles, and the guys just move it back out there. And for next year, we're actually looking at expanding that to the ball field, just adjacent to the solar field, so that can be going on, and our skilled guys can focus on core campus as we go along. So each year, our guys, figure 130, 140 seminarians come in. They take one day where they go ahead and volunteer their time at service projects somewhere on campus. So for this year, I propose that we start working on the Shoreline Restoration. Because as most of you already know, as the shoreline erodes, phosphorus goes in the water, so the key is keeping it where it is. So working with Gerard from Lake County Smith, he and I chatted and we said, hey, this is how we want to approach it. So we said 2 feet wide off the soil, 2 feet deep, and 1,000 feet long, all right, as we go at this. So we brought in The tonnage is escaping me right now, but it took the guys all day with all the men working to get it down there and the heavy equipment to move it along. So we didn't get to the 1,000 feet. We got to about 850. The good news is that there is strong volunteerism here to keep that going each year. So that'll be an ongoing project as we move along, keeping in mind that we have about 3 miles of shoreline around us if you do the circumference of the lake. So that's a whole lot of rock to drop in there. But our skilled craftsmen that work here, have said they want to be part of the solution too. So we'll do a little bit of that in between as concrete makes its way to us and tools for erosion are available. We see ourselves and our responsibility as a teaching institution to be one of ongoing education to all the students that are here. So from a point with our seminarians, we always want to make sure that they see what is possible, both the successes and the failures, to realize that you really can't succeed unless you have failed along the way at some point to learn more. And then for our lay students, the same. We've got a new school of parish leadership and evangelization, and they will have the opportunities to be part of the volunteerism on a go-forward basis. As we look forward, a few of the initiatives that we're working with right now. So one of the opportunities we have is with the lake itself, and the bridge was a key staple in making this next point work. And that's talking about ensuring that the clarity of the water is as healthy as it can be, that we eliminate all of the muck at the bottom where possible, as long as it's organic in nature. And we're starting to look at a little bit of a program with bio dredging. We'll continue the shoreline restoration as we work through next year and beyond. That'll always be an ongoing project. But one of the things that we have to remind people, whether it's our board or other constituents that are here, is that these aren't one-time projects. It's an ongoing project, just to make sure that we're taking care of that environment so that mankind is surrounded by everything else, the flora and the fauna that go forward. And as you think about lake lovers specifically, we see this as a tremendous opportunity to share the teaching and the ongoing education. What's happening here, what's happening down by Libertyville High School and Butler Lake. There's a lot of information sharing that goes on. And I think that Lake County Stormwater Management is taking a real watch at what is happening through all this as well, because as one benefits, we all benefit as we learn more and share those teachings.